Hey everyone, it's Hannah here. Thank you so much for clicking on this link. I'm really excited about the news I'm about to share with you. But before that, I figured I'd give you a little bit of a background behind the whole thing. If you want to know more about my story in detail and about my journey through topical steroid withdrawal, I do have a blog called The Rockstar Life. And I also have a longer version of this video too. I actually recorded it before this one, and then I looked at the timer and I was like, wow, I've been talking for over 20 minutes. So I decided to make a shorter version, but the link to my blog and that video will be in the description box below. Long story short, earlier this year I got really sick, as a lot of my family and friends know, and I found out that I had something called red skin syndrome. Basically, the topical steroids and immunosuppressant creams I had been using to treat my eczema all my life, my body got addicted to those creams and built up a tolerance to the point where last fall, the whole bottom half of my face was red and just really sensitive. And I just remember being like, is this still my eczema? And I was just so fed up. So I searched the internet and I found out that maybe diet could help and switching to natural skincare products would help. So on December 28th, 2015, I decided to go vegan and also gluten-free, so no dairy, no egg, no gluten, and I decided to use just natural skincare products on my face. So I stopped my steroids. Steroid creams, and I didn't know about topical steroid withdrawal or red skin syndrome yet. So in January, a rash that had started, what I attributed to be the healing crisis from detoxing. What they say happens is like when you detox, when you like change your diet and your body, your cells start releasing all the bad things inside that had been stored there for all that time, and it can manifest itself through skin, rashes, and I figured it was that. But when these rashes were not going away but getting worse and spreading, I knew something was wrong. So I went back on the internet and I was so lucky to find ITSAN. ITSAN stands for International Topical Steroid Addiction Network. So what I did was I typed in my symptoms into Google, and up popped their website. I clicked on it. I looked at the symptoms listed on their website, and I remember going through and being like, that's me. That's me. That's totally me. That's what I'm going through. And I remember feeling a sense of relief because I finally had some answers, because I was pretty certain that I had red skin syndrome. But I also remember being terrified of what this journey was going to be. And so from about January to May, I'd say that those were the toughest, darkest times in not just in the year, but in my life so far. Physically, as my body was withdrawing from the steroids that I had become addicted to, physically it was just brutal. I had a rash that spread full body. My face, my neck, my chest, my arms, my back, my legs were covered in this red, burning, incredibly itchy rash. And the itch wasn't just like a surface itch, it was a bone deep itch, and the kind of itch that brought me to my knees, sobbing. And my husband would have to hold ice packs to my skin to try to numb the itch. The only place that the rash didn't touch was my hands and my feet, but I know so many people going through topical steroid withdrawal do have it in those places. My skin too was also just like burning. My arms swelled up at one point because of just, I don't know, the constant scratching and inflammation. My hair and my eyebrows started to fall out. I couldn't sleep because I was itching all the time. I would wake up every hour and hour, face just burning, and just sleep deprived, and came to the point where I had to take leave from work because when I woke up in the morning, I could barely wake up, and I would just be crying in pain. And I also started to have these things called itching episodes where I would just go like on a scratch fest. I'd like be so itchy, and I would remember saying like, I want to scratch my skin off. And I started to have those just intense itching episodes during work. And I'm an elementary music teacher, and I was like, I cannot be doing this in front of the kids, and I just didn't have the energy to go through work. I was cold all the time. I remember in the days leading up to me taking leave from work, I just kept my winter coat on the whole day because I was so cold. My body temperature was like out of whack. So not only physically was it brutal, mentally and emotionally it was exhausting and draining. I've been anxious before, but I had never had the type of anxiety that I developed going through topical steroid withdrawal. Just that fear of itching and not being able to stop, and also just the fear and hopelessness that I was never going to get better. I would look in the mirror every day and just be like, this is not me. I just wouldn't have energy to do anything, and I was just in pain all the time, and it was really hard. But I'm so thankful. Right now, I'm very close to being 11 months topical steroid free. And so far, I'm doing pretty good. I still have itchy spots, really itchy spots on my neck, in the back and the front, a few spots on my arms, a few spots on my face and on my scalp. But for the most part, I'm doing a lot better, and I'm very thankful for that. But I do know there's a possibility that I could relapse and I could flare again. I know that's a very huge possibility, but I'm just trying to stay positive and take it one day at a time. But anywho, that's just a really short, kind of condensed version of the story. But all to say, I'm so thankful for ITSAN. I'm thankful for their website that had that information, because otherwise I don't know if I would have known what I was going through. I'm also so thankful that I was able to connect with other people who are going through the same thing or who have gone through the same thing online. Those support groups that I was able to join were so helpful and encouraging to me, to know that I was not alone and to get advice from other people going through, because a lot of this for us, like, we don't get this kind of support that we need from the medical community, because they don't really know about it, or maybe there's not enough research that has been done for them to recognize that this is a real problem, about the overuse of steroids, and not warning people about it. And I'm also just thankful that they advocate for our people who go through this. They advocate for us, in not just in the general community, but in the medical community. So next Tuesday, November 22nd, I'm going to be releasing 2 singles, Don't Let the Wonder and All Kinds of Broken. So Don't Let the Wonder will be a single that ITSAN will release. And the cool thing about it is you can buy it for $1, or you can kind of set your price. You can buy it for $2, $5, $10, whatever you feel like, because all those proceeds from that song is going to go to ITSAN. Every bit of it will go to ITSAN, which I'm couldn't be happier about. My second song, All Kinds of Broken, will be featured in their campaign awareness video, and you can also download that from my Bandcamp if you'd like a copy of that as well. But I'm just so thankful for this opportunity that my music will be used for something bigger. And I can honestly say that's all I've ever wished for my music. I write music because I love it. And just to think that it could be used to not only help raise awareness about Red Skin Syndrome, but that hopefully it will bring in some funds to support this really important organization. But I also hope that the words in the songs will be able to encourage you or comfort you, those who are going through topical steroid withdrawal or people who are just going through other things. That's my hope for my music to whoever's listening. But anywho, keep a lookout for those links on Tuesday, November 22nd. And yeah, thank you for listening to my story. And if you want to know more, feel free to message me.